This is the Nike Versa Tack indoor-outdoor basketball. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
Yo, yeah, I'm on top. Y'all can't check the score. I've been up. This ain't nothing new, and I won't stop now. I got the juice. Better step aside when I'm coming through. Talk big and I back it up. That's the truth.
This is the first impressions review of this ball. For those of you who are regular subscribers, returning viewers to this channel, know that when I review a basketball, I do a first impressions review, and then I do a performance review a few weeks later once I've broken in the ball. The last ball that I reviewed was the Molten BG 3800, and for that ball, I did something a little bit different than I've done in the past. I went off a point system, so I have 5 main criteria that I have when I review a basketball, and for each criteria, I assigned a 1 or a point, 0 to 10 point scale for each of those 5 criteria for a total of 50 points. I did that both for the first impressions review and for the performance review, but I think for this ball and probably moving forward, I'm only gonna do the points for the actual performance review. It doesn't seem to be fair to give points to a ball that I haven't used yet, because the first impressions review is to simulate the experience of you going to the store, seeing this ball on the shelf in its box, and then picking it up, feeling it, and trying to get it a feel for whether or not you'd actually want to buy it. This ball has been requested to be reviewed on this channel for years, and so today we're finally gonna get to the review of the Nike Versa Tack indoor-outdoor basketball. So the first 2 criteria of this ball that I always go over are the material of the ball and the pebbling on the ball. Now I have to be upfront when I say that this kind of ball in general is just my kind of ball. It's really what I prefer. Returning viewers will know that my current favorite outdoor basketball is the Spalding Streetball. That's a flat out rubber ball. It looks and feels like rubber through and through. But this ball is kind of more in the direction that I would prefer. I love the Spalding Street Ball because of the grip, the feel of the ball in my hands. I can really get a good grip on that rubber basketball. When it comes to the material of this ball, Nike's website says that this ball is 86% rubber and 14% synthetic material. The good thing is that the ball feels rubbery to the touch, but it has a little bit, just a touch of kind of smoothness and softness to it that a composite leather basketball would have. So it's mostly grippy, mostly tacky, with a little bit of softness, a little bit of glide and smoothness to the ball. I really like the feel of that. I prefer flat out composite leather basketballs just in terms of the way they feel on my hand, but I prefer to use rubber basketballs because of the way they perform, and I can get the kind of grip I want on a rubber basketball. But in terms of how a ball feels in my hands, I strongly prefer composite leather because it's softer and smoother, and it just feels more high quality and just a better feel overall. This ball is kind of the best of both of those worlds. It feels like rubber to the touch on your fingertips, but it's also soft and kind of like that squishy composite kind of feel to it. It feels like there's almost like layers of rubber underneath there. Obviously there's not, because the ball would be too heavy if it was just layer on top of layer of rubber on this basketball. But however they engineer this basketball, they make it feel like composite leather in terms of the softness and the squishiness, while still having that rubbery, tacky feel. When it comes to the pebbling, it's just standard pebbling. Nothing bad about it, nothing great about it. It's just, it's actually pretty flat. Like, you don't really feel it that much. It's not very pronounced when you run your fingers over it, but that's okay because you still get that tacky feeling regardless of the kind of flat pebbling. That brings us to the grip channels of the Versa Tack. Now, these grip channels are more towards what I like and prefer in a basketball, because these grip channels are not that deep, right? They're better than probably the average ball, or maybe they're just about average, maybe a tiny bit better in terms of depth of the grip channel, but they are nice and wide. It's gonna be pretty difficult for you to find a ball on the market that have wider grip channels than this. There are similar balls that have about the same width of grip channels, but you're not really gonna find another ball that's really much wider in terms of the grip channels of this ball. Another good quality part of the grip channels of this ball is that inside of the grip channels on the seams, you can feel the edges of the seams. The edges are raised up just slightly. They're not very pronounced, but they are kind of subtly raised so that you can feel them. I like that because it gives you a little bit more of a tactile feedback to your fingertips, allowing you a little bit more precision inside the grip channel. So while the grip channels aren't that deep, and that's okay, because they are pretty wide and you do get the edges of the seams, I do really like that, enjoy that about this ball. In terms of perceived durability, when you think about the kind of material that this ball is made out of and how it feels in your hands, it feels like it's a very solidly made basketball. It feels like it's going to last you average amount of time at the least because of how well constructed it feels in your hands. If you use this ball hours a day, every day, it's gonna be worn down within a few months. But in terms of moderate use, this ball is gonna last you at least 2 years. That's at least the way it feels. It's gonna last you at least 2 years. I could see it going well into a 3-year period, maybe beyond if you really take care of it. So I really like that about this ball too. It doesn't feel like it's gonna wear out on me anytime soon, and so I'm not afraid to really put it to use and put it through its paces, which is good because when it comes to value, I paid $50 for this ball. Now keep in mind, this is a mostly rubber basketball. Usually mostly rubber basketballs or flat out rubber basketballs are cheaper because rubber is cheaper than synthetic or composite materials that go into complementing the rubbers on these balls. And for $50, that's getting up towards the price range of actual genuine composite leather basketball prices. But I think in this particular ball's case, that's okay because it does feel like a high quality, premium, indoor, outdoor kind of ball. Like I said, it has the softness and squishiness of a composite leather ball, but the feel and tactile kind of grip of a rubber basketball. And when you factor in how well the grip channels seem to be made, and because of the overall experience, how well the durability seems like it's going to be when you come to that $50 price point, I think that's very appropriate. I don't think it's overpriced at all. The only problem I can maybe kind of foresee is that if you really like this basketball, if you're really into it, if this is like your one and only basketball and you do use it that high level where you're using it hours every day, if it does wear out, you know, within a few months and then you're tempted to buy another one for 50 bucks, you know, that price can start to add up. But that's gonna be a personal preference on your part of like, do you want this quality? Are you willing to pay that much money? For me, because I would be putting this ball through moderate use, when it comes to replacing it and paying the $50 again, I think I'd be okay with doing that. I wouldn't have a problem at all because this ball feels so good in terms of first impressions and the quality overall. And if the performance matches the way this ball feels, then definitely I would be good with paying that $50 over and over again to keep replacing this ball. That is my first impressions review of the Nike Versa Tack indoor-outdoor basketball. For those of you who are familiar with the Nike Dominate series basketballs, I had Nike Dominate for years. It was the last ball I had while I was still an active competitor. I had that ball for years. I don't know what exactly it was made out of, but it felt like it was made out of straight rubber. But the build of the ball was very similar to this ball. The Dominate was very similar in make and feel to this ball, except for the Versa Tack feels like it's a step up in quality and construction. They obviously use better rubber and some kind of synthetic leather combined with the rubber to make a higher quality basketball. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'm excited to use this ball to break it in. Once I've used it, broken it in properly, I will then give you guys my performance review to let you know how this ball performs out on the court. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, If you found it informative, if you think it's gonna help you decide whether or not to give this ball a try, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you want this exact ball that I got off of Amazon, I have my affiliate links below. So if you want this ball, go down there, hit those links, buy this ball, give it a shot. It feels like it's going to work out great for you. As I've been saying, this is a small channel, very obscure basketball channel. No other channel like this on YouTube, because most other basketball channels on YouTube focus on how to do drills and workouts so they can mold you into being the next NBA. Like, you can be like X, Y, and Z basketball NBA superstar of the day. I don't do that. I have no interest in trying to get you guys to do workouts or drills. I figure you guys love basketball. You wouldn't find this very obscure channel if you didn't love basketball. Because you love basketball and because you want to be the best you can at it, I assume that you're intelligent so that you can figure out what drills and workouts to do for your personal game, your individual game, to elevate that. This channel is more about basketball advice, basketball philosophy, how to do small things here and there that you will then combine together to elevate your game over time. So if you like that kind of basketball stuff, if you like this niche, then please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build this community as big as we can, knowing that even with, you know, new subscribers coming in on a daily basis, it's going to stay pretty small for a long time. So while it's small, why not get in and say you got in on the ground floor by being a subscriber? And for those of you who already have subscribed, you guys already know. Appreciate you guys. You know that. Like always, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any of my videos go live, especially that performance review coming up in a few weeks. And until then, I'll see you guys next week.
Always asking how I do it, making mansions off this music. Haters say I'm such a nuisance, kiss my whole ass and talk to it. If I want it, then I buy it. Taking trips, I'm flying private, back to back to back. Islands, water dripping off these diamonds. Ayy, me, myself and I, that's a dream team. That's why I stay alive like the Bee Gees. Look at me now, everybody wanna be me. You already know I'm here to stay, best believe me.